nearly all of my clients that I see now are psychologically healthy, normal individuals who had something very bad happen to them. I work with many parents who have lost children. I work with elderly men and women who lost their partner after many years of marriage, and they are pretty much devastated by that. There are three different main reasons why I would not accept somebody for IADC therapy. Number one is if the loss is very recent. Generally, I don't see somebody for IADC if the loss is within 6 months. And the reason for that is that the early stage of grief is characterized by shock, disbelief, and emotional numbing, and that sadness hasn't even fully sunk in yet. And it takes some time for that to happen. And again, for the IADC process to work, that sadness needs to be available in therapy so we can process it and reduce it. Another reason is if they are also depressed. Now, sadness and grief, or grief and depression, the symptoms overlap considerably, but they really have two different causes. And grief is purely a psychological response to a loss. Now, the problem with depression, which is much more biochemical in nature, has to do with the brain processing that we do that's in IADC that's derived from EMDR. And simply people who are depressed don't respond as well to these eye movement procedures. And so we need to get them undepressed first. And usually all that takes is a good antidepressant. But trying to get somebody to move through this brain process, this high-powered brain processing, if they're depressed, is a little bit like trying to get somebody to run a race with a ball and chain around their foot. We put the brain into that higher processing mode. What generally happens is the most distressing memory a person has suddenly comes up. And so we count on that. So when we are working with a grief issue, we need to make sure that that is the most distressing issue the person is experiencing. If not, we're going to pull up something different and end up doing something else. If it's a matter of the loss being too recent, I simply refer them to somebody they can go talk to in the meantime, and I have them call me back at a later date. If they're depressed, then we need to get them undepressed first.